I was always interested in writing fantasy, but it was not something that was pressing. I was always interested in the genre, but I only started to write it when my late husband asked me to. He unfortunately died in 2007 from cancer. But before he passed, he was doing many different treatments, and while he was doing chemotherapy, he asked me if we had a routine where I would write stories and read it to him, and he said, "Why don't you write a fantasy this time? Because that way when you write it and read it to me, I can imagine I'm someplace else, not getting chemotherapy." And I said, okay, and so I did. But unfortunately, I probably was writing about a third way of the book. He lost his battle with cancer, and I was very upset, obviously. I was devastated when he passed. And I thought, well, that's the end of the book. I'm not going to write it now, now that he's gone. And I thought that was the end, until one day, a good friend of mine, Janet Wong, also an author and illustrator, she came by and she said, "Whatever happened to that book you were writing?" And I said, "Oh, I couldn't finish it before Robert passed. It's just not meant to be." And she said to me, "No, maybe it's better that you didn't finish it before he died, because now you can change the ending." And if you had written it if you had finished it before he died, you would feel like you couldn't, but now you can change the ending and the book can be anything you want. And when she said that, it was a big moment for me. It was a big revelation, and I realized not only could I finish the book and make it any way I wanted, it was also the same thing for my life. It was just because he passed and I was devastated for that, my life still hadn't ended and I could still write the rest of my life. And so that's pretty much the soul of this book, and how this book is kind of my homage to him and his life. In this book, Min Lee is on the search for happiness. She's looking for the secret to happiness, and that's when I wrote it. That's what I was. I was looking for the secret of happiness too. I was looking to how after Robert had died, I was so upset. But writing this book made me realize that I had the secret of happiness all the time too, just like Min Lee did.